Welcome back to week 3 of the North American LCS Summer Split. Now, we're going to game 3 between Phoenix 1 and APX after Phoenix 1 evened this series back up for a 1-for-1, tying that with APX, sort of reminiscent of what we saw playing against Cloud9.
Yeah, they came back and they ended up winning game 2 against Cloud9, but they weren't able to close out the series. But hopefully for P1 this time, that they can stop having that 0 in the column of matches won.
Yeah.
They really need to pull out a win here, and a big change for them was Pyrion in the mid lane. He got player of the game last game on Lissandra, 6-1 and 7. Absolutely absurd pick play there from him. And I think that Phoenix 1, if they want to keep finding success, they keep playing to that for now, and they make Apex try to figure that out, because Apex looked a little lost once it got off the ground.
Yeah, and with that Lissandra going so big in this game, such a clear go button for Phoenix 1, you've got to imagine that Apex are going to first ban just Lissandra.
Well, that means they have to drop one of the bans they've already been banning, which will end up being the Azir, Rise, or Sivir.
Yeah.
It's probably one of those that you could drop.
Well, we'll see if they can flex it around a little bit. Now, they did have a strong player in the top lane, though. Ray had an enormous CS advantage pretty much that entire game.
Yeah, he ended up getting around like 80 plus at one point. Ended the game, I believe, with 51 over his opponent. So Apex's top laner, he's been doing a fantastic job this entire time of farming, but not transitioning that lead into anything else. Zig is working with less resources, and Zig is actually coming out on top in the macro play.
Yeah, playing with the team, playing with Pyrion, trying to help it out. And a lot of that is a little bit of the synergy that we saw between those supports. Gate has been playing way up this series.
Yeah, Gate, although he ended up having the most deaths on his team, still played fantastically. He had no hesitation when he flashed and threw out the grasping roots. Like, I thought it was fantastic play by him. And the Zyra, I don't think you give him Zyra again. I feel like that's a champion that he slots right into the team perfectly.
Yeah, you can see him laughing and smiling over that performance. On the opposite side, though, especially on that Karma, yeah, he picked it away and sort of counterpicked Phoenix 1, but he wasn't really able to make too much happen with it.
Yeah, there's a couple of things there, like transitioning that lead is... Sorry, what did you say?
Are you giving me the double lift right now?
No.
Yeah, he picked the Karma and he counterpicked it away, but he wasn't able to make too much happen with it.
Oh, yeah. They took the Karma because Karma's just a top-tier support at the moment.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I wasn't listening at you. I was actually watching Gate because he held up 4 fingers, and I'm like, oh, he probably heard me say he had the most deaths. He's like, I have 4.
I can see him chuckling right now.
Anyway, sorry about that.
Yeah.
A little distracted. But yes, the Karma was taken away, wasn't given to the mid lane, but they did swap out mid laners in the first place.
They did.
And it's funny because looking at that Karma pick, well, Pyrion, I think he's played it before. He has games on Varus and other poke champions. It goes back and forth, though, yeah. So Slushy's usually playing it, and then otherwise they have played it on support as well. So it is a flex pick for them. Mm-hmm. But fun fact, Pyrion is the only person on this team to get player of the game, and he's gotten it twice.
Yeah.
There are 2 victories. It's gone to him both times.
That might be something that Phoenix continue to look to use, the fact that he is getting player of the game in these wins. And it actually sort of creates a bit of an opening for Apex, because Keen, very strong player, as we know, played for a very long time. This is, I think, his 2nd year now in the LCS. So we are looking to see if Pyrion can keep up once again. Well, he did have that split break.
Yeah, I think it's a year at this point. Yeah, pretty much pulled up from solo queue, was an assassin player at the time. For Pyrion. For Keen had Gravity last year. So he's had a lot of professional experience, though. He played in OCE previously. Mm-hmm. So he's basically cresting more than 2 years at this point.
Yeah, he was pretty effectively locked down by Pyrion over the course of this match. And we'll have to see if he can respond in kind. Going for the Twisted Fate, getting player of the game in game number 1, and then getting completely locked down in game number 2. Creates a sort of interesting back and forth dynamic.
Yeah, back and forth. Like, Pyrion got the better of Keen, though, in that matchup, and now it's Pyrion once again. I don't know. Is there something going on here? Probably not. It was really that level 1 that happened that got Pyrion far ahead, but that was really P1 countering and using their summoner spells very aggressively, right?
Yeah.
That was the Flash W. That was the Flash Cocoon. It was everybody coming together to make that play happen. And I'm glad that they did that instead of playing safe and trying to be like, okay, you know what, they're gone.
Yeah.
Let's save our summoner spells for when we get
time.
ganked. It's like, no, you are ganking them now. You should be using them first.
look at the game. I am the game now.
Yeah.
So again, Phoenix One, we saw them sort of hint to this yesterday, playing this sort of Zerg style, finding aggression and constantly using it over and over. And finally, in this game, they were able to use their advantage to keep using that aggression. Well, you've got to imagine APX on blue side, they've got counterpick. They might be able to pull something out.
Yeah, Apex on blue side, I believe it's P1 on blue side.
Yeah, Apex red side, sorry. Apex red side.
Yeah, having the counterpick, I mean, Keen, there was that famous gravity red side win rate for the longest time. Where it's like, you know what, Keen really relies on the counterpicks, but we haven't been seeing that too much. It's usually going to their top laner now.
The original Bjergsen Kryptonite.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Breaking out the Hecarim and the Urgot.
The Urgot, the Hecarim, the Jarvan, J4. I think it was actually Bjergsen's Ezreal that ate the J4 pick the first time.
Yep.
So, yeah, but they haven't been using it for Keen. They've been using it as a counter pick for top lane, just like in game 1, they last picked Fiora.
Yeah, and now we have gotten into bans for our final match between Phoenix One and Apex. It has come down to the ace match. Nidalee banned away once again from Shrimp Rise is the exact same. So far, nothing has changed, and with Phoenix One on blue side, you've got to wonder, are Apex going to leave that Lissandra up? Maybe they have something that can play around it, as Vladimir is going to be the next ban for Phoenix One.
You ban out the Lissandra, you open yourself up to a couple more picks. And it's strange because the Azir is still being banned out despite which mid laner is in. Apex just don't seem to want to play against any of these champions. Sivir was the last ban, and I think that's the one that you drop. It would enable them to actually go quickly, but yeah, they're going to pick up the Sivir. First picking Lissandra is not always the best thing in the world, but I still think you go for it.
Yeah, with how much it enabled Phoenix One in that previous game, you've got to wonder.
Okay.
Oh, they're actually going to first pick the Elise for Sentinel. Interesting.
Yeah, starts the pick, regardless of if they get Lissandra or not. Lissandra is much more counterable. Keen might have something up his sleeve, right?
Yeah. Haven't seen too much of Keen's counter picks.
And if you force Apex to take Lissandra, then obviously you get to see that and you get to pick what you want into it.
Yeah, so Apex now looking to answer. As you mentioned, that Lissandra's still up, and hovering the Gragas right now for Shrimp. Kindred still available.
Yeah, Shrimp's been banned out every game. The Nidalee and Rek'Sai every single time. Went on Evelynn 2 games in a row. Had to play it into Elise last time, but this is not a good time for him.
Yeah.
Elise with the CC really has a large advantage early game, and Evelynn without the CC, she's basically, her CC is I kill you, that's death. Try to take you off the map, but you're not
it's
able
a form of ground control. You can't move.
It's the best form.
You can't input any commands. But Gragas is going to be the pickup for Shrimp. Maybe get some disruption so that when Phoenix One come charging forward, just split the team up. Zyra, though, is still available for Phoenix One. Gate had huge success with it in the previous game with some of those grasping roots.
And I think you have to take it here, too, because if you give over Caitlyn Zyra and Xpecial plays it, then that could be a deadly combo that there isn't really much that would counter that in lane.
Yeah, Pyrian looking back at that Lucian for the second time.
If they end up taking the Ezreal here or the Lucian and taking their AD carry, it's a little strange because you don't have to show it, but I guess they go for it.
So far, it's the same team composition. Lucian, once again, for MASH. He actually did the second most damage on his team. Of course, Pyrian, player of the game, did the most in game 2. So that Trundle, once again, going into the top lane. Ray could try to take the Aurelia and just hammer Zig out of the map.
It's true, he did show that his bruiser prowess is just a little bit better at the moment. Zig got a large part of that team fight and became an unkillable tank at the end. But the Aurelia was able to have a really good play where he assassinated 2 people, got into the back line. See if he goes for it again. I assume it's the pickup just because Aurelia is incredibly strong. That or Fiora, which he had played in game 1 and found success.
Currently looking at it, and it is going to be locked in. Fiora for Ray against Trundle this time.
All right, and because of the fact that we had the Lissandra last pick from P1, they're saving their last pick for Keen finally, making sure that he has a matchup that he's comfortable with, and that he might even have something up his sleeve to deal with it if they pick it again, because you could pick the exact same composition here as P1 and go Zyra Lissandra. and then nothing has changed for them.
Yeah, they've got 30 seconds. Really, that very early level 1 play enabled them to use their composition very effectively. This time, though, APX are going to have to be on the lookout for it if Phoenix 1 go for it. Twisted Fate hover.
Twisted Fate is a bold blind pick.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what he ends up going with here. There's the Zyra. It's locked in.
Still hovering.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, it is locked in. That's Lissandra and Zyra. So Phoenix 1 running back the exact same comp that won them game number 2.
It's the most convincing win that they've had out of their 2. It's the most convincing game they've had. So I guess the composition worked out for them. Saint, I guess he saw this one coming, decided not to ban it, and that they can deal with it. And that's where you say, yeah, we'll let them have it again because it wasn't us messing up. It wasn't the composition. It was us just messing up. And then they got an advantage and it snowballed. So that level 3, you kind of had to shake off and say that was the game right there for us. We couldn't get back in. So now reset, come into this champion select, allow them to have the same thing. And get this last pick for Keen. Yeah, I think you do that for Ray and allow Ray to go crazy.
Once again, playing to the top lane. It's worked for APX in most of their wins, if not all of them.
Yeah, I think that playing to Ray is a strategy that's been working out for them, but as they move up the standings, APX needs to demonstrate that they can do more than just that. But the Zilean pick here for Keen, Zilean, incredibly annoying champion to play against, especially with a pick composition. You pick somebody off, you just blew multiple ultimates, possibly 1 or 2, to actually pick that person up. And Zilean's just going to blow 1 and get value out of it.
Yeah. Phoenix 1, we'll see if they can break through the regeneration, the life reboot of Zilean. Whereas APX, once again, playing to that top lane. We'll have to see if Keen can enable Ray to go off once again. And this is game number 3. Phoenix 1 taking their most convincing win yet, making their most convincing game, and being allowed to get the exact same composition and make it happen.
Yeah, it's a pick comp. You pick Zilean into it, make sure that you have the revive. It's hard to pick somebody off in that situation. You can do it, but they aren't actually dead.
Yeah.
And the other composition is actually quite good. I think that it's something that they saw it coming. They have the Fiora for Ray, and now they have the Gragas, so they have the early CC for Shrimp. So that same thing that happened last game will not happen again because of that CC with the body slam early on.
Well, we'll see if that will happen. Keep those predictions updated by tweeting hashtag P1win or hashtag APX win. Tell everyone who you think will take down the win in this game 3. Will Phoenix 1 finally get their first match win of the summer LCS split, or will APX put a damper on their game 2 win?
Yeah, you have to close out the series. That 1 game win does not mean anything if you're not able to get that 1 in the column. Only time it means anything is if there's a tie.
Yeah.
And nobody's tied for 0 wins at the moment.
Yes.
Welcome to Summoner's
Closest
Rift.
team was Team Liquid, who beat Phoenix 1 yesterday.
Yeah, Piglet went on record too and said that Phoenix 1, he doesn't think they're good at all.
Oh. Once again, Sentinel losing some spiderlings.
Yeah.
He's having to dodge a lot, forced to flash as Apex go very aggressive.
And Apex get control of this jungle. They get lane swap wards down for the first time in the series, I believe. So they'll be seeing the entry and who goes where on the top side, especially since the bottom lane is actually already over here. So you could stay in a standard lane, no problem. Look at all those seeds that are being set up right now.
Minions have
But the problem is nobody's going to come across there and be like, I hope there's nobody here. What are 4 seeds?
I wonder if there's someone in this bush.
Yep.
Those stars surely mean that there's no one in the bush. Aurelion Sol?
That's always the best. That's always the best.
But this time it is Apex initiating the lane swap, as you said. They're even invading into the jungle of Phoenix 1.
Yeah, Gates actually just hanging out in the jungle, making sure nobody is there. So he checks every buff, or every camp. And looking at the composition once again for Apex, the Caitlyn helps their 4-1 siege. I think that Caitlyn is a fantastic pick for Apex, and that they're pretty much going to pick it every time that they have Ray on a split pusher, just because the trap line can be used for your own sieging when you're pressing up. or for stopping the enemy siege and making them take a large chunk of damage so they back off.
Yeah, Apollo shown some good performance. You can see Special sort of dancing just outside of vision of Pyrian.
Yeah, just hanging out mid. I think there's going to be a lot of tension here in this mid lane. Pyrian had an incredible game last game, so I think that they're going to try to shut him down a little bit more.
Yeah, you can see the split push cam. That's actually the lane swap cam.
That's amazing.
I have vision of both of those lanes at once, and the mid lane and the junglers. We can see everything. Claw goes
turret
forward.
shots.
Keen. Oh, flash used by Keen to escape from the potential gank. However, that means that flash is down. Sentinel can continue to play aggressive on this side of the map.
Yeah, he gets to take up that blue buff, gets to take it on his strong side. No problem. And that's going to be this turret going down a little bit faster as well. And this is the thing, can P1 do anything with this? Because look at that top side. That minion wave is gone. They have to wait a couple more seconds until it crashes. And turret goes down.
Mashgate and Zig are going to split the gold locally. We'll see if Ray will be able to get solo gold on this as the rest of his split push backs away.
Yep.
Yeah, he gets all the solo gold for his own. So minor advantage to Ray.
They still end up being really close in gold.
Yeah.
Actually going to look at that again. No, Zig got solo gold.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got solo gold. It's 400 if you get solo gold, 300. If there's 3 people there, then everybody gets 200 gold.
I see. Continuing to see Pyrian farm it up against Keen as Zig will finally be forced to back away from the minion wave. Currently a few CS over Ray, who got a bit of a later recall than Zig, so he will eventually catch up. And once again, the lane swap turret shove continues. This time, though, it looks like Shrimp and Sentinel will get a little bit more time in the jungle of each other before catching up for that quick turret.
Is Sentinel looking for a flash cocoon over the wall? No, he's
clearing up the...
He's just clearing it.
Raptor camp.
Yep, left one little one there, so the timer is not activated just yet. It won't be respawning anytime soon. And the pushes happen again! Let's bring up those cams!
Once again, the shove between the two tier 1s. Looks like right now, Phoenix 1 have a bit of a lead, though Apex catch right back up. Oh, it's going to be close. Who's going to win the race?
Oh, P1.
Phoenix 1.
Again.
But again, they split the gold.
Oh, Ray has a gigantic wave there. He's going to have to wait for this whole thing. So, they're going to push topside. Ray's waiting for that local gold so long because he wants it to actually be a freeze, so he has to wait for all these caster minions to die so it'll bounce. It's going to be some damage top. It's not going to be that bad, but he's going to lose a wave.
Yeah, finally clears out the turret. He's able to get local gold, but very large amount of time spent just sitting and waiting.
Yeah, and that hits the 6-minute mark. This is going to be Rift Herald here for Zig.
Ray on the opposite side. No way he can get there in time. And once again, Rift Herald, very early take by Phoenix 1 X-Special. He's going to get a ward over the wall. That's spotted out by Sentinel.
Oh, don't get too chicken.
Oh, there.
Oh,
whoa, flash.
That's not chicken.
Sentinel's going very aggressive. Here comes Pyrian. He's got level 6.
Oh, he didn't
locked
ulti.
down Keen. Can they get it? No! He's able to get his ultimate off. Pyrian is stunned. He's going to flash away, and he will almost certainly go down. There's the auto attack. First blood, Keen.
With a sliver of HP in Sentinel.
Sentinel is the next target. There goes another auto attack. He's going to drop. Apollo gets that.
And what was looking like it was going to be so good for P1 turned so bad, and Apex pick up 2 kills super early on in this game. And now they're going to get the Ocean Drake, and they even stopped Rift Herald.
Oh, wow. Apex, 1 hit away from losing that trade, but they're able to bring it back. And Apex are taking this Ocean Drake right now. They now have a 1,200 gold lead and the first Drake, and now Ray is on the top side of the map. So they could look for that once again, but Sentinel pulls the trigger.
Special's not going to take any more damage there. A lot of mana used, abilities used as well. And then they... Oh, good. Did Gate cancel an auto there? I don't know.
Tragedy strikes.
If they had
for
killed him,
Apex.
then they wouldn't have had these speed ups.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have had these bombs flying through, and then he wouldn't have died. Maybe able to turn it around at that point. And even using the Elise Q and the Elise W on a Braum, who's got his shield up, he's just absorbing that damage. It does 0 at that point.
Sentinel trying to make a play happen, trying to be decisive in that, but unfortunately Phoenix not able to follow through. As he's now clearing out on this side of the jungle. Not to mention that those kills went over to Keen and Apollo.
Yep.
The only way that could have been worse is if they were double stacked on Ray, who was there.
That's true. That's true. Giving them to Ray is definitely a disaster at that point. He would be able to be completely fine with his cull, because right now it puts him in a very passive state. Whereas Zig, whenever you get a cull on Trundle, it's actually not that bad at all. He usually wins most matchups early, and this is kind of doubling down on that and using that as a... just because I'm Trundle, I get to go ahead and get this much extra gold. I believe it was Duke was doing it at MSI, purchasing it very early.
Special clears out a ward as Zig head toward the bottom. Ray will eventually meet up with him as blue buffs are now being gifted over towards those mid laners. I like how he put the bomb on Shrimp so Shrimp couldn't leave.
He can't leave.
You are my jungler. You will help me here.
He could maybe start to leave, but
Yeah.
has to stay around for it to go off. Picks up the Scuttle Crab. Another Ocean Drake coming up next. That could be big.
Oh. Keen gets some good damage on the Furion.
Oh boy, the auto attacks if they come through.
Oh boy. Yeah, he's able to get the claw out.
Yep. Keen taking some tower shots. Shrimp off on the side, and Sentinel's gonna face check this.
Ooh,
Oh, he was
misses.
ready for that. He was ready. Sentinel immediately warded and threw the cocoon. And that's really good. You have to be able to predict and be ready for those things. Anticipate them to happen. And that's how you get that like Captain Jack cleanse off. Is you know the yellow card's gonna come out.
Yeah.
You don't react. You prep yourself for it. So you don't have to go off of pure reaction. Go off of anticipation.
Ooh, Ray with level 6. He's completed his Tiamat. And he has a longsword. It's effectively even in stats outside of the level 6 for Ray, and Zig's still only level 5, so yeah, there it's going to even right back up. Ray wants the vital. Oh, come on. Yeah, there he goes.
Those face vitals every time.
Yeah,
But-
I think Ray is trying to bait this.
Ray's taking a lot of damage. And Shrimp hanging out. Does see him on a ward though, so Zig knows that Shrimp is there.
Doesn't fall for the bait. Plays it safe. He's going to return to the position that he's been in for the past 2 games, past hour and a half of letting Ray shove minions in over and over.
Now, he does freeze it though. It does have a cannon minion, and it'll push towards his turret for, I believe, 2 more waves. So it's actually a pretty good deal for him.
Duos now head towards the top side of the map. Mash and Apollo farming it up as best they can. They don't have a tier 1 to fall back to.
No, yeah, they could be wrapped around on quite easily, but Sentinel just now has the flash backup for the flash cocoon.
Yeah, once again, going for the Sight Stone, prioritizing vision on that duo lane side of the map.
Are really early Sightstones from these junglers. Shrimp got it very early in his Evelyn game, has the Tracker's Knife as well, and providing vision is just absolutely crucial as a jungler when you're playing these types of slow matchups.
Yeah, such a very important thing to not die.
Well, to know that you're going to die sometimes. But yeah, definitely, you don't want to die.
Whoa,
Oh,
Tyrion takes
Tyrion.
a lot
Got
of
ulti himself.
damage. Special's only level 5, so we can't knock it up. And there goes some damage
Yeah.
onto the turn as well.
There were double traps there, but you still have that half second or I guess even a quarter second to flash, because the game updates in ticks. So it checks every quarter second, I believe, for certain status effects. And it goes, okay, okay, okay. And so what happened is he got it in between it checking. So he's able to flash away. If you double bomb, sometimes they'll do that, sometimes it won't. And you have a little bit of reaction window. If you're just mashing it over and over again.
Yeah, well, Mash is in the top lane.
Yeah.
As Ray and Shrimp once again invade into Phoenix One's jungle. They get 3 deep wards, and they've now got a lot of vision around the mid lane. Seems like Apex are putting a lot of emphasis on keeping Pyrion locked down and preventing him from going off and taking control of the game like he did in the second game.
And I think that they're going to put a lot of pressure onto him. The Zilean pick is something against Lysandra that she has very low mobility. She has to use that claw, and you can still even put bombs on like the entrance of the claw, right? You can double bomb where it's being telegraphed that it's coming from, or it's coming to. And you slow her down, and she's forced to use it as an escape tool as opposed to a damage tool. So there's a lot of ways that you can exploit her with Zilean.
Ocean Drake has just spawned, and the team send 4 members each. And it looks like Apex are even going to start it out. Double teleport is available for both of the solo laners.
Nash is going to push this wave out down bottom. He really wants this CS, which may cost them the Drake.
Yeah, Ray is actually going to engage on Zig. Flash, he
keep it against the wall.
Gets the 4th. Ray is fully healed. There goes a flash for Zig. Ray, doesn't follow up.
Yeah, there's that Vital 2 on the sweet side there for Ray. But nope, not going to be able to pick him up. And he's actually just going to walk right back out. He's going to rely on the Trundle passive to get HP back. The question mark ping onto Rift Herald. Oh, why isn't this Ray's yet? Why is this not mine?
Why isn't this mine yet? Yeah, so that was Ocean Drake picked up by Apex with Mash splitting on the bottom lane. Wasn't able to group up with his team and help them out.
Yeah, not at all.
However, he does have a 20 CS lead over Apollo, which should even up the goal difference between the two after the kill that Apollo got.
Yeah. It's closer. It's like 170-ish at the moment. So they're rather close in gold. And Mash, he's been farming away, but he can't tunnel on that when there's a wave that's eventually going to push towards you. And there's an objective that's being contested. And of course, it wouldn't have made too much of a difference because of the fact that Ray was basically bullying Zig in the top side and taking all of his HP away. So Zig didn't really have a way into the fight. Zig would have had to rely on maybe interrupting his teleport. Tyrion
takes the claw to safety once again.
Special tried to call the early take of the claw, so he threw it off to the left side. Early canceled culling because it looked like it was going to be no good.
Yeah, Mash and Gate are going to catch up with Pyrion in the mid lane as Apollo and Xpecial once again roam to keep Pyrion locked down. Shrimp pulls the trigger onto Gate and drops him right quick.
Body slam flash from Shrimp, and then the explosive cask backwards. By the book there, Gate doesn't even have a moment to react. Can't even flash away. Pretty much dead at that point. Not level 6, doesn't have the disengage, and then he's going to get picked up. That's 2 kills to Apollo already.
Yeah, very successful for Apex. Finally, it pays off, and the objective they look for after is the Rift Herald. Shrimp starts it off, and Ray is on the other side of the map. Will he use his teleport just to get the Rift Herald, or are they going to give it over to Shrimp?
I don't know.
Zig is actually trying to bully Apex away, yeah.
Oh, he didn't make it through! He didn't make it through!
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Special still has his flash, though. Zig is going to escort him out.
The Rift Herald actually started chasing Zig instead.
Yeah.
That could have been really bad for Xpecial. He would have had to blow his flash if anybody else was there. But still, they stopped the Rift Herald again. Though Rift Herald been stopped by both teams at this point.
I'm sure it's sort of a bittersweet situation. Apex, we want the Rift Herald, and Ray is, yes, they didn't give it to someone else.
Yeah. Yes, they stopped it because I wasn't there. Who would have taken it at that point? Shrimp? Yeah. Probably. Or maybe they would have just left it there on the ground forever.
He'll eventually go by the pit.
Yeah.
Ray, someday Ray will pick it up. And they say to this very day.
think Ray jumps on them as soon as they're on the ground. So
Yeah.
like, I bet you in solo queue, even when the jungler wants it, he's the guy who's like already standing there.
Yeah, when it dies.
Give him question mark pings afterwards. But it's like, no, it's really good on them.
Once again, APX trying to keep a lock onto Purian.
So much damage coming through off of this poke from Keen. He keeps throwing out these bombs. And then you have this siege I was talking about with the 4-man unit where the traps come down. Apollo is quite good at putting them in the right places. He needs to get one on the top side of the turret as well, kind of hide it in the turret. And that catches a lot of people off guard.
Ray in the exact same spot he's been for the past 3 games, split pushing in a solo lane against Zig. Not too much of a CS advantage this time, as Zig finally able to keep pace with some of the damage that Ray is putting out and the minion waves being dropped, but that effectively keeps him occupied for the duration of this game, which allows Apex to continue to run around with this 4-man gank squad.
Yeah, it hasn't been performing too many ganks. It's trying to siege, it's trying to make people run back and forth. Yeah. Until they actually find somebody caught out of position. P1, they want to do that. They want to be able to have priority in lanes and then roam to the sides. And just what was working for them was where they were diving turrets with the Lissandra, and that heartbreaking ultimate that ended up not killing Keen, just barely, literally one sliver of HP left on him. Canceled auto attack, abilities used on Braum, like those little things just added up to a team fight loss. Those very tiny things.
Yeah, gotta be pretty demoralizing. But here goes the Rift Herald. This time it's Phoenix 1 who are going to take it. Ray's finally on that side of the map, but it's not going to be his. And Rift Herald will be secured. They're going to gift it over to Sentinel.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, because Zig is not on that side of the map. They hear Rift Herald go down, so they know it's time to take a visit to the bottom side of the map. Maybe set up Mountain Drake, continue pushing this side in. Put pressure on Zig.
Yeah, Apollo's getting some damage onto the turret right now, along with some help from Xpecial and Shrimp. The Zig will be able to heal it back up. With that recall, that's going to put Phoenix 1 back on this bottom side of the map in time for that Mountain Drake to spawn. However, Keen has been able to get some huge chip damage on that turret, whittling it away wave after wave.
Oh, Apex hiding in the bush.
Oh, they've caught Sentinel. He repels away, gets over to the Raptor camp. Oh, and is able to flash the cat.
Oh, there's so much damage there on the gate. So squishy. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a Runic Echoes on Trimp. But Apex know that they can finally knock down this mid-tier 1 turret, and with the Mountain Drake up, they could look to follow it up with their 3rd Drake of the game.
I feel like that did way more damage than it should have. Somebody else must have hit him at the same time with like Apollo must have hit him with something.
Yeah, Apollo helping Shrimp out right now, take down that. Oh, it was a bomb.
Ah, okay. Yes, that's what it was. There was a spiderling with a bomb on it, and then the explosive cast killed it, so the bomb went off at the same time as the explosive cast.
Yeah, Keen doing some serious damage. Completed his Rod of Ages, completed the Morellos. About 35 CS.
Yeah, it's going to be even harder to lock him up and kill him because he has that HP from the Rod of Ages, and he also has Merc Treads now, so his tenacity is actually quite high.
That Chrono Shift going to be coming off of cooldown quite a bit. Purian now being gifted over blue buff to try to more effectively deal with Keen shoving waves into him over and over. Keen actually getting a level ahead.
Yeah.
Now that Baron is spawned on the map, Phoenix have to clean out vision.
Yeah, but here's the thing is, look at everybody on Apex. They're not in position for this. Their vision is really poor. This could be a pick here. P1 want to set this up.
Oh, they send 4 members towards the top side. This is that Zerg play that has worked so well for them.
Oh,
I think they just might have been spotted.
Yeah, a ward went over the wall. Mash is out, and Shrimp is going to check it anyway.
Yeah, the barrel finally gets tossed.
Oh, Shrimp 2 levels up now with the help of Zillion.
Apex don't have a tier 1 on that side, but Apex decide to let it go. They decide instead to rush down the mid lane. Zig has to go bottom to deal with Ray. One of these tier 2 turrets is going to go down.
One, if not both, but they're still going to get priority on mid. Everybody's going to be on top of it. And yeah, it's probably going to be this mid one as they get the siege online. Very close. Very close.
Yeah, Gate's finally going to catch up. There's the claw.
Apollo?
Oh, Apollo's getting very greedy for it, but he dodges the cocoon and is still able to get this tier 2 turret.
Oof. Yeah, Keen right off on the wings, so if that was a flash ultimate from Purion, they would have caught Apollo because he doesn't have a QSS, but it still may have been something they got away from. But
whoa! Oh, the flash, but Sentinel gets the cocoon. However, he gets caught by a barrel and will still end up going down as Apex continue to chase forward. They don't have a lot of... Oh, Purion takes it too soon. Is forced to flash to get out. Apex get their 4th kill of the game.
And now they get to go back to this mid lane, shove it forward. They may even just make a visit bot there with the speed of Zilean and just shove Zig off the turret and get themselves another one.
Yeah, the Keen catches right back up. Zig finally will lose this tier 2 turret that he's been protecting for so long.
Oh man, these Ocean Drakes are adding up here. It's actually really fast, and how quickly Apex is just regenning HP and MP.
Yeah, some huge value for Apex. 6,000 gold ahead, 23 minutes in. Next Drake will be an Infernal to help them team fight even more and look for these picks. Phoenix One, though, they tried looking for a pick, weren't quite able to find it. Gate tosses out the grass, but doesn't lock it down.
Nope.
Oh, feigns it. Doesn't have his barrel, though. Here comes Keen. Purion went the wrong way. He's now taking a lot of damage, forced to ult himself.
There's the trap.
Ray coming in from behind. Let's see if he can catch anyone. Finally, he goes down, but Ray takes a lot. He's forced to flash away. Zig keeping Apollo occupied. However, that's right into Ray's waiting arms. There's the chrono shift.
Keep going.
Oh, he will be able to chase it down and get the kill. Sentinel on a trap of his own. That's 3 members of Phoenix One dead. So far, a perfect game for Apex.
Apex, besides the lane swap turrets, haven't given up anything. No dragons, no barons, no kills, and no turrets aside from that. So they're playing really well right now off of those early kills. That Keen getting away absolutely changed the game in that first play. Sentinel's here. Sentinel.
Yeah, he's going 1 versus 5, and Apollo chases him down. Repel's not going to be able to save him. There goes a teleport. Sentinel will finally drop, and Purion gets out. This is Baron going over to Apex One. Apex.
They have 1 win. Yes.
Yeah, I saw the one.
You get to 3 games.
Yep.
Your mind starts going. But yeah, Apex pick up the Baron. Large advantage here. 10,000 gold, very close to it, just 800 short. This turret is going to be that 800 that they need.
Yeah, almost clinical in this match.
Purion's got to go
in onto Ray.
No Keen.
Oh, there's no Keen to save him. He's knocked up. Finally drops.
Oh,
look, the first kill. However, they're going to answer back with a kill into Purion. Apollo has got so much damage.
Yeah, Apollo playing absolutely incredibly on this Caitlyn. But here's the thing is all these guys, you know, they have things that put themselves in stasis. So, yeah, throw down the traps. What's this comp going to do to you? They don't have somebody who's with the team that's going to soak the traps for you. You don't have a Braum that puts up a shield. You don't have a gigantic tank like a Maokai. And Apollo gets to put a trap down, blam, and there he goes down. And then they try to turn on Ray, and it's more the same. Zig comes through, the TP. Apollo put a trap on top of the TP, so that Zig takes a gigantic chunk when he comes out, and then they pick him up as well. And just even more of that. So Zig,
yeah,
you know, it's got to be frustrating when you come out of a teleport and you're trapped already, and you're already chunked.
Really, really difficult to deal with as Apex are giving Phoenix One the old runaround on the map. 10,000 gold lead, 25 minutes in. Huge advantage accumulating. Now the Infernal Drake is going to spawn in 15 seconds, and Apex are already grouped up on that side of the map. Ray prepping a wave in the bottom lane. And with Baron buff still on them for another 2 minutes, Apex still have got a window to continue to push down some turrets.
Oh man, 4 Drakes for them. Absolute control of this game for Apex. Phoenix One, Purion, he's not having the same type of game. Shut down, 80 CS down at the moment. Absolutely so much attention in this mid lane. And you can see how those early fights really dictate the pace of the game. Keen already level 16. And it's going to be even harder for them to get back in the game on P1 side. This gold advantage is huge, but it's a 30-second ultimate for Keen already.
Oh, Shrimp has caught Gate once again. The flash cask, and he even nets the kill from behind. It's 10-1. Ray, feeling emboldened, will turn onto Zig with
so much
lot of true damage. He's got a turret to deal with. He's taking a lot. Oh, and he finally drops a little bit too much there. Special, though, will take some damage from Pyrion, but Trim chases back, lands the barrel. There's a zone
trap.
And the trap's right on top of it. He ults himself, however, before he can be snared. There it finally goes. Shrimp has still been in the front line. He gets rezzed by the Chrono Shift, and Special will finally drop Pyrion, and Shrimp is back at full health.
Yeah, this tank already hard to take down in the first place, and they still get him back up, full HP, and Keen's ultimate is already half off of cooldown. So there's that too.
APX can just siege over and over. And Shrimp actually caught by a snare here. It's again 4 versus 4. Pyrion is dead. Ray will be up in 2 seconds. He's actually got his teleport. Baron's going to last for about another 10 seconds, and they're going to use it to try breaking down this inhibitor turret.
There's just so many things to avoid. You have to avoid the bombs on the ground. You have to avoid the Caitlyn traps.
Ooh, Stranglethorn knockup gets dodged by Special. There's a pillar mash. Oh gosh, he's waiting for the cast. He does have it back up. He misses, but the huge stun on the far side is going to be able to pick up 1, 2, and it's going to be 3. Not quite. Sentinel gets away. 1, 2 kills, but this is now the inhibitor as well, and Mash giving it a bit of a taunt spam. 13-2 in favor of Apex.
Yeah, Apex playing absolutely flawlessly right now.
Pyrion getting it from behind.
Apollo's down.
No, he's not. Keen is able to save him. He's got his flash, and Ray drops the kill onto Pyrion. Mash overextends. He goes down to Ray.
Yep, fast fingers there from Keen, able to get the ultimate off onto Pyrion. I thought that the ultimate onto Apollo, I thought that Pyrion was going to be able to lock Keen up and then blow up Apollo, but that's not what happened. Keen goes down too.
Double bomb gets an execution. Sentinel will watch as his Nexus will drop, and Apex will win this game against Phoenix 1, 2-1 over the course of the series. Apex take the win.
And Apex put themselves at 3-2 in the standings, but those are not games that you can be too proud of. The last game, sure, you can look at that one and say, yes, they picked exactly the same thing. We were able to counter it and get that Zillion counter pick. Good. Moving forward, though, Apex have high aspirations. They want to be that top of the standings team, and they're struggling to get there. They need to kind of ramp up. Hopefully this gives them some momentum moving into the next week for them, or tomorrow. And Phoenix 1, on the other hand, now they end week 3 0-6 in their series. You have to hope for next week that they have the roster that they want and that they can have that scrim time actually pay off for them, and you can see the results there. Because, sure, they're playing all right. We're seeing a lot of problems continue to emerge, though.
Definitely still looking for that growth from Phoenix 1. They have been playing better this past weekend, but as you said, still looking for that full roster, still waiting for that match 1 win. But Apex, as you mentioned, they came in with high aspirations, and in this series, they hit a few stumbling blocks over the course of it before they finally were able to tighten up their game and clean up Game 3.
Yeah, as they tightened up Game 3, a lot of it, I think, was that draft. Seeing exactly the same thing once again from P1. Apex, able to take it home and really shut them out of the game. No dragons, no kills. Only turrets that were from the lane swap, just those 2. So otherwise, really a perfect game. Actually, 2 kills did go over. There was a skirmish that happened.
Yeah,
that happened after that.
Well, no, the 2 kills were Ray.
Yeah,
and while Ray was solo pushing. So
that one that died underneath the turret.
Those can be a little discounted, but Apex, once again, showing that they can play at a very, very high level when they set it up properly. And you've got to imagine for those other teams, is this something you can take advantage of? Just keep throwing surprise after surprise against them.
I think that you can. I think that a lot of teams are very diverse, that playing towards that top lane is something that a lot of teams currently do, right? Like Echo Fox does that a little bit more now. Immortals, we also see Envy doing that. So teams that are near the top of the standings, they have that type of strategy where they could probably shut down Ray. And as Apex move into tomorrow, you have to have that on your mind, that you played Phoenix 1 and you dropped a game to them, and that's the team that has yet to pick up a series. Maybe it was a little bit of you getting caught off guard and you were able to deal with it in Game 3, but you have to be able to shake that off for the rest of the week. Yeah,
we actually heard Saint a little bit in that at the end of the game saying, you know what?
Yeah,
Phoenix 1, they still play well despite some of their mistakes. We have to take them seriously. And
they
in
took
Game
the game
2,
off Cloud9.
Yeah, they were able to take that win.
Yeah, which is exactly what happened here. Is it went 1 game for Apex, 1 game for Phoenix 1. Same was what happened with Cloud9. and then they were able to run it back on the other side. So Phoenix One still yet to pick up that victory for themselves. But Apex, no, it's not all roses after that victory. There's a little bit of concern there for how long these games were taking as well. This one was a 29-minute win, which is completely fine. That one is a good game. The other one, like edging about 40 minutes. And really, there's a lot of things that needed cleaning up. They're really reliant on Ray getting a gigantic advantage.
Yeah.
This time, they were able to play through Keen a little bit more to close out the victory because of that early fight that they had. Early fights, Keen not going down, and then the counter. That is the fight that just made all of the difference. And we're probably going to see it at the analyst desk because it was largely impactful on the outcome of this game.
Yeah, it definitely was. Apex, however, were able to pull it back, take the series 2-1, and come out on top. Now, to cover all of that action from the series, we're going to toss it to the analyst desk, and those guys are going to break it down.
Build your frustration up. They steal a dragon. That's annoying. And then next thing you know, you have a Baron, and you're losing that one as well. You see Piglet giving Fabi a little massage there. De-stressing him a little bit.
Like to see that some teamwork. Just now, those of you who were just watching Apex pull a victory out over P1. Thank you for joining us. We're breaking down the Team Liquid and Energy series, which is now tied up 1-1 in the series. So we will be going to Game 3 after Energy picked up a victory in that one with what was a very impressive performance out of both Quas on the Jax and GBM in that mid lane with the Anivia. We'll break down the P1 and Apex game in just a minute. To close this series out, I do want to turn an eye towards that third game, swapping sides back. Team Liquid on the blue side. Do they go back to something a little bit more foolproof with the Ashe and the Bard engaged and the Olaf to follow up? Because it seemed like in this situation, when they did have that lead, when they knew they needed to make moves, they didn't necessarily have the tools to create the foolproof engagement.
I think the big thing to look at is what's going to happen with Vladimir and what's going to happen with Jax. So Jax, both games, has been able to take inhib turrets and inhibs in these like kind of split push situations where the other group is losing something out. And so does TL think that's important enough that they need to ban it? Because they've seemingly been doing okay against it, but it still has been an issue. And at the other hand, Phoenix on Vlad absolutely murdered game 1. So if that's going to happen again, they should probably do something about it.
Alrighty, well, that's what we think there. Of course, these teams have a little bit more time to gear up for Game 3. Time now for us to switch gears and turn into this Apex and Phoenix 1 series. There you go.
Just flip my paper over.
Let's start with the team comms that we saw here in Game 3. We have to remember that Pyrian stayed in for Game 3 after being subbed in for Game 2 and being victorious. Unfortunately, that didn't work out this time, but still on that Lissandra. Not quite as a clean game from him this time around. We saw a couple missed E's. And so I don't know if that was nerves or what on the verge of their very first match win, but definitely a step down in performance from him individually on the side of Phoenix 1.
He received a lot of attention throughout the game. We saw numerous mid-gank attempts. Even if they weren't successful necessarily in getting a kill, they were forcing his flashes. They weren't letting him move around the map. They brought a lot of attention to him, which kind of shut him down. And I think it's the kind of thing where you look at the rest of P1 and you wonder why they weren't able to get anything done. They tried that really early Rift Herald after pushing in the top wave on a 2v1, and Apex didn't take the bait farm. They went right to the Rift Herald. They got 2 kills off that, and from there, it was kind of a slow bleed out as Apex was able to steamroll.
Yeah, I want to dive into a replay. 23 minutes in the game, Apex 3-0. Relatively clean game for them across the board. But this, again, showcasing, unfortunately, Pyrian here will make a mistake. Eing in kind of ill-advised when the rest of the team isn't there to follow him up. He has to self-ult, put no damage out, and gets popped. So not a good start for them, ultimately.
No, ultimately. No, I think it was the kind of thing where you throw that E out kind of like a zoning, like, don't keep chasing me.
Yeah.
And then he actually accidentally took it or something.
Right.
He just puts himself in the middle of the team. From there, Apex, it's an easy fight. They just run through, catch the rest of the guys out. They go to start this Baron off. You see that Sentinel will come in and like kind of look like, hey, I might steal this Baron. They just turn and kill him before going back to the Baron. So it was a pretty long, extended sequence, but it was one that really sealed the game for Apex.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. The way that Apex played this game was a lot like the way that Team Liquid probably should have played the last game, in that they did have an early lead. Apex, though, operating very cleanly from that early lead, picking the right fights, choosing their fights around global objectives that they know they can win, and ultimately a very solid performance from them in a situation that is an expected victory.
Yeah, but I think it was actually showed pretty well for P1. They performed really well in Game 2. Game 3, they just never really had a chance to get going. But it's a good win for Apex to get themselves above 500. They're 3-2 now. They're a team that you want to keep your eye on moving forward because they're kind of in that middle of the pack territory, and you're wondering if they join the more upper middle or the lower middle part.
Yeah, when you talk about playoff picture here in NA, I know it's only week 3, but it seems to be a very competitive league this time around, so any and all wins are going to be very valuable when it comes to that playoff race. We got to hit player of the game. That's going to go to Keen, 3-0-12 on Zillion. He did shut down a strong Pyrian from game 2, right? So you take Pyrian's performance from game 2. If I'm on the side of Apex, the one thing I'm concerned about in game 3 is a repeat performance from Pyrian. So a lot of that's on Keen to shut him down. He did just that.
Yeah, good adjustments in terms of the draft. I like Zillion into Lysandra. Lysandra wants to go and blow somebody up. Zillion's like, no. Not going to happen. It's a pretty good lane as well,
right.
And then with the extra attention that they seem to have with the roams to mid, I think that was a really good game plan from Apex and shutting him down. So this all starts with Keen.
Yep, that's going to do it for Apex versus P1. Apex picking up another victory. Of course, we still have one more game to go over on NALCS1. You're not going to want to miss it. This is Energy versus Liquid. Going to game 3. Who's going to take the match? We'll find out right after this.